If I was to tell this white lady the shoes that I walked in my lifetime, it would be a book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, facts. Because you're in your boss mode. You're just like,
No.
I don't have time to pity myself.
Like if the formula isn't working, switch it up.
Period.
And I think
period.
the black girls open up your horizon. It won't be me. It will never be me, but open up your horizon. Okay. How you feeling? Ready?
I feel good.
Okay, cheers. I love it. I know. Yeah, take your sip.
Oh.
Let me introduce us. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Bittersweet Podcast. It's your girl, Wintana, and I am here
with Malaan Ajang.
Period. My friend, my lovely friend. I'm so happy that you're on this podcast. Like, we've been needing to do this.
We've been needing to do this for the longest time.
Literally, guys, Malaan is a modelist, content creator, advocate. Like, you may have seen her all around Melbourne in her campaigns. She's just doing the thing. She's really that girl.
Oh, I am that girl.
Yeah, period. I love that. How
a humble
are you?
Girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Blessed.
Exciting.
We're here. I know.
I've been waiting to sit in this chair for the longest time.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad I'm here.
And on the new season
we're finally
too.
doing it because we'll be chatting.
We've been chatting. That's what I'm saying. We've had our moments. I've known Malaan for a while.
The longest
But
time.
then I remember when we caught up like properly for the first time, I said, this girl is a vibe. She's giving like one of the, I love when I meet people and it's like giving one of the girls.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you have different experiences with
Yeah.
people and you don't know what you're going to get. I didn't know, because I didn't know you that well. I just know of you. I'm like, we can chat.
We could chat. We could chat.
Yeah. So how are you? How's things going in life?
Good. Life is lifing.
Yeah.
Can't complain, to be honest. Just doing adulting. Like, I'm not a child anymore. I'm
All
a
of
big
us.
girl.
We're big girls.
So we're big girls. So doing big girls things, trying to do big girl things.
It's so hard.
It's kind of like just figuring life. Well, yeah, you know what? I feel like you're figuring life all the time.
All the time.
Like, there's never a time where you're like completely content and like, yeah, this is it. You can have it for like a brief second and then it changes. And it's like, what am I doing with my life?
What am I doing? I have moments where I'm Malaan, I'll be sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is my real ass life. Like, this is not a trial. This is not like, we're going to grow up. Like, I'm actually grown. And I need to get it together. Do you know how many times I've had that epiphany in the last year? And I'm like, this is like, you're actually the big girl that you were saying one day when I get here, I'm going to be. We're here.
That one day is now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot because you don't know if you're doing it right and you don't know if, you don't know.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, it's so crazy because like when someone else is looking in to your life, they think, oh my God, they've got it together. Like they've got to figure out. Little do they know, your mind is like all running. Scattered.
It's a lot.
Yes, I can't complain. A life is lifing.
I feel it. I really felt that. I had an icebreaker that was different before this conversation, but obviously off camera, we got to talking and I'm like, maybe that should be our icebreaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun.
So therapy.
Oh my God,
therapy. I was talking to you and you asked me, what are you doing? For a moment, I'm like, should I lie and say I was just doing?
Lie, like it just came out. It did. So natural, it's like normal.
Yeah, like we were talking about how therapy now is cool, but it's not even because of that. To be honest, like I literally thought about it for a moment, and I'm like, oh, do I say it? Do I not say it? And then because I'm like, is that normal? And I'm like, well, I'm doing it, and this is what I'm.
Like,
where
were
I'm
you
at.
Scared to say it because you feel like you'd be judged, or like,
and
like,
almost
why did you have to like think about it?
Because I feel like there's always a taboo, right? And I know that we talk about it like there's no, we have to like get rid of the shame, and we have to, we can't make it taboo anymore, whatever. But in the back of my mind, a lot of the times it's when we say those things, people still feel those things. Do you get what I mean? So I was like, okay, is this acceptable? Like, can I say it? Am I comfortable saying it? Yeah. Also, am I comfortable? And then I said it and you were like, okay.
Like, I want to go to therapy.
I said, yeah, girl, I went to therapy. So I started going to therapy. And it's literally like just to, I guess I want to do it to understand myself.
Yeah.
Better, deeper. I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm changing. And I also feel like, you know, we're getting to that point where it's like this next phase of life. And I don't want to carry all these, like, I don't know, I guess like negative or just like these thoughts that aren't like, they're not productive to me growing as a person. And I feel like I need to work on that. So I'm like, okay, if you're trying to, you know, get married or have kids or do all these things in the future, let's actually figure out those things that you know they kind of bother you, but you're not really working on them. So yeah, that's where I was at with it.
Oh my, I love that so much. And I feel like that's a whole, like another different, I guess, perspective of going to therapy. Like you're going so you can learn more about yourself. Whereas like sometimes it could be seen as you're going to therapy because you're going through something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more of like an emotional thing rather than a growth thing.
Exactly. And I went to, because I did it in that way. I went to, shout out to Polar Practice. They've been putting people on. Yeah, they really put people on.
Because I think it's time.
We'll talk after this.
Ready.
Yeah, we'll talk after this. I'll show you, like, Polar Practice, they've been doing the work in the community.
Okay.
It's like Black owned, women owned, but they've got all these other therapists under them that are people of color.
Yeah.
And like that whole thing of like when you go to therapy, but you're not, like, you feel like you're going there because you're going through it, right?
Yeah.
I was doing that. And I felt like there were things that I was ignoring. Like things that you knew, okay, girl, is this, but I'll go and I'll be like, give me the answer to my problem. Knowing that I have these issues and you kind of know the answer, but you don't want to deal with it. So I feel like that wasn't helping me at all. And I actually stopped doing it and I felt like it wasn't a helpful thing.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm going back open-minded, but also just like it's more for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's a journey. This is my first time, you know, this is the fact that I'm talking here, like 2020 Wintana would be like undercover. And you would not know anything. But now I'm like, let me just be more open.
I love that though. I love that because it's going to encourage more people to seek therapy or just like be open to the idea of it and the fact that it can help you in so many different ways.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? One thing she told me was, because I never really understood generational trauma. Like I know it, but I was like, okay, what is like intergenerational trauma?
True.
And she's like, so for the women, trauma is passed down through your mother.
Wow.
And it's like DNA. So like when you're born, this is stuff that is that's in you. So whatever your mother hasn't processed, and a lot of us, especially Africans, second gen in this country,
hella trauma.
Like our parents went through it, and it's not like direct trauma from like our experiences, but from theirs. I think that's crazy. I did not know that.
You know what? Actually, no, I also didn't know that because I feel like, for instance, especially in like this new generation, it's like everyone's like talking about like, oh, trauma. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people that like will look at some people and be like, what trauma have you experienced?
Yes.
You're born here, you know, like you have everything
that you need.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're saying that there's also such thing as trauma being passed down, like I totally get that, because if we were going to compare reasons or if we're going to dissect where trauma comes from or originates from, like our parents have been through it. They've been through so much, and so I
really
get that.
like it's so. But also, you know, Malaan, I feel like I feel like because our parents have been through it, we're always like, because they went through it, like we're not going through. We don't have that experience, and we're always just like, I would always be like, girl, you had a good life, and we did, like we did relative to what our parents, but it's not at the same time. It's like our experiences are our experiences, and are we like always just gonna say, you know, we go through our own in this life. So I don't know. For me, it was always that. It was always, you don't need therapy. Like you had a good life in this country. Your parents did everything for you, but. You know, sometimes like it's just like good to go to understand. Yeah, you're being a baby.
That's been me. You're being a baby.
But like, I support it. Yeah, like fix, because our parents are living with so much that they haven't processed.
Yeah.
That's
so true. Oh my God. Like now that I think about it, I remember like, you know how like there's like those, what's it called? Okay, like my nan she wasn't going through anything, but it was like, she's like a senior citizen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so they have like these programs for seniors. And I remember one day she got a call from like her carers and such. And they were just like, oh, you know, what's it called? We have a therapist if you want to speak to them. And literally what she said, she's like, if I was to tell this white lady the shoes that I walked in my lifetime, it would be a book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, facts.
I swear.
She's like, she's gonna be crying. I'm gonna be sitting there like, yeah, this is
my life. Yeah,
this was my life.
Because
these were the cards were dealt, and
girl,
I'm here.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's so rough, and every time I think about
crazy.
it, like the stories of our parents it's insane.
Yeah.
It's like
it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's genuinely unbelievable.
The way I used to sit, it would be like story time with my dad all the time. Like, tell me what's next, tell me what's.
Yeah.
With my mom, I feel like it's hard for her to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, if they sat in their fields, we wouldn't be here. Like, there's no way we would have made it all the way to Australia.
They're like, but it's like they're on survival mode.
Yeah.
But till this day, I still
this day.
see it. Like I don't feel like they've come to this country and they're resting.
Yeah.
I feel like they're still in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And
I see that too.
Yeah. And I just think naturally we are also like that in a way. Like we're more relaxed, but I feel like we're always like, there's this scarcity mindset. There's this like, we need to make money. We need to do this. We need to. But actually, when you look around us, we're not in a very, like the environment that we're in is actually like comfortable in a lot of ways.
Of privilege we've got.
We have a whole lot, but I feel like a lot of us operate in the mindset that we're not, that it could just be gone in any minute.
That's so true.
It's like,
like we'll be ducking for our
but
lives.
it's so scary for what?
Oh my gosh. No, for
Oh
real.
my God. Why did you want to start therapy?
Well, I feel like now I'm ready. Like I remember when I was younger, there's been like times where I've just like, oh, maybe I should go to therapy. But like I was never ready. Like I would generally make an appointment, but I would never show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like on the day I'd be like, you know what? No, I was just having a bad day.
Yeah.
So I don't show up.
Yeah.
But like now
I've done that, yeah.
Yeah. But now I like because I think I was like scared.
Yeah.
But now in my adult life, I'm ready to face these things that I feel I need to address.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel ready. Like now I can actually speak about them, or I would like to understand certain things about myself and why I think the way I think sometimes.
Yeah.
And then also because I lost my nan 2 years ago, I wanted to do like grief counseling. So I feel like I'll start there because grief is like a whole nother thing that like nobody talks about. And it is such a journey. Like it is...
How was it for you? Like, how was that?
To be honest,
to process that in the first place,
I haven't processed it because, well, I guess people have like their own way of dealing with it. For me personally, because it was like something that was so close to me, I'm still like I've accepted it. It's happened, but I haven't. I don't know. Like it's like I don't know.
You haven't processed it.
Yeah, like there's like a weird. There's different stages. Yes, I feel like I'm finally at the point where I'm like, okay, it's happened. I've accepted it. But now I want to kind of move on.
Yeah.
From that pain and of loss.
Yeah.
And understanding that there's like so much more ahead of me that I need to look forward to.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that this person's not going to be part of it, but to figure out ways to honor them in my life as life happens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Have you had anyone like guiding you or helping you with that? Yeah, it's so hard. I remember actually you posting a lot about your grandma. I remember you guys were really close.
We were so close.
Yeah.
So, so I think I'm going to start with grief counseling just so I can kind of like close that chapter because it's still something that affects me like every day. Like it's been 2 years, but it still feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So I think I'll start there, or maybe I don't even know, because I've had friends who also just started doing therapy, but not just, but like maybe it's been a year in now.
Yeah.
And they were telling me about their first session.
Yeah.
2 of them said like they cried.
Yeah.
For like hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's probably going to be me. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to open up that.
Yeah, I feel like it takes time. It takes time. I don't think I've gone in there. I know I haven't gone in and been like, I feel like I'm so like, I have my guards up.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm also very suspicious of people. So I'm like, I kind of just. Yeah, I know. So
It's
I'm
the
always
only
like,
way to do the
so what is
internal
this? What is this?
work.
Yeah, because again, we've been fed for so long that this is not
Yeah,
this is like,
exactly.
bullshit. So I'm always like, okay, like trying to understand it first.
Yeah.
And I've had moments where it's like, it does make you like, you do get vulnerable and you do like, I get emotional.
Yeah.
I haven't had like a breakthrough.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
I think it will be with
it's
time.
one of those yeah,
It's
and I
just
just think
it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a
and I think the
journey.
more you get comfortable, the more you'll open up. Maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Because I feel like even with like my friends that I'm talking about, like they too went in very like, oh, I don't know, this is gonna work. To when they were doing, I guess, like some sort of like exercise doing it, where they had to like, I don't know, speak to their younger selves.
Yeah.
And then that's when like all those emotions that started coming out. So I feel like, yeah, I want a good cry session though.
Yeah.
I love
I love a good cry session, but when I tell you I can't, sometimes I'm like, I feel it. I feel the cry coming. Let's cry. And it's like nothing's coming out. I'm like, girl.
Because you're in your boss mode. You're just like,
No.
I don't have time to pity myself.
Yeah,
right
but it's like
now.
sometimes
But you need to.
Yeah.
You need to. You need to.
We need to just give me more emotional, soft
like,
girl. Like, yeah. I know.
I haven't made myself cry in a long time.
Neither.
I just feel like I don't have time right now.
I only cry when I'm like really angry. Like now, when I'm really angry, because I feel like I'm such an emotional person, it'll bottle
same,
up and then I'll
same.
just be like, it'll just come out in tears. But I'm like pissed off that I'm crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I haven't cried in a while. Maybe I'm jinxing that tomorrow morning.
Wake up emotional. No. But I would say this with therapy, I feel like you need to, don't go in with this mindset like I'm going to go fix myself. It's like, I just think you just need to be open to, for me anyway, I'm like, let me just be open to understanding myself and just be, you know what I mean? It's like this, like you said, a journey. And I'm just here to really like figure myself out and figure out what I feel like is not linking up. Why do I feel like something is not aligned here? And I feel like if you go in with that as opposed to being like, fix me, because I've done that before, it's just like, you're not there. They're not there to
fix you.
Yeah. They're there to help you and guide you, but they're not, So I don't know, but I support it.
Anyway,
the sun is
face.
really
I'll come back when I let you know. The sun is really shining.
It's spotlighting me right now.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me know. I hope you do. I hope you.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into the topics of this week's episode. So the main thing I want to speak about, Malaan, was the struggle. The struggle,
Which struggle?
on the streets
Oh.
to find a good man.
Oh
You know, on this
my
podcast, we
God.
talk about relationships,
do.
we talk about dating, and the conversations that me and the girls have been having is that there's like a shortage or something.
Yeah. The ratio is off.
But I just feel like there's a struggle to find like a good relationship, something that you're like willing to commit to a point where people just like don't even bother.
Yeah.
And I know you are in like a healthy, thriving, happy relationship. We love
She's
to see
taken.
it. Period. And I remember we met each other. This is when we first had that conversation. And I was like, Malaan, we were all talking about relationships and we were just talking about the ghetto of the streets.
The ghetto. And how dry it is on the street.
So like obviously now you're in a you're in a loving
I am.
relationship. But can you speak to like before and how it was just like crazy?
Before? Okay, so I've always been a relationship gal.
Okay.
Like I've always been
In a
booed up.
relationship. Really?
Booed up. Like I couldn't tell you like moments when I've been single.
Wait,
I know.
Are you like a serial monogamous?
I'm a serial monogamous.
Really?
I'm just like, take me out on one day, we're together.
Yeah, okay. Do you fall in love really quickly?
I fall in love in 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
I know.
You don't come off as a girl who does that.
Really? I'm a lover.
You come off as a lover and very sweet, but I feel like not someone that is just like booed up all the time.
Oh, I'm booed up.
Really?
I'm booed up constantly.
How serious are they?
They're very serious. Well,
Okay.
I reckon the reason why I'm always booed up is because like of my type.
Okay.
Like I go for like a really quiet,
Okay.
nobody knows
I love that.
this man.
Yeah.
Like if you're that man, then you're mine.
So how come, and you're very like extroverted, yes?
And I'm very extroverted and
Okay.
I'm very straight to the point. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking to get to know each other. And
It's always been very
and,
much.
like it's been very much like we're both on the same page. Let's hop in.
So how come, what was the difference? Like why didn't they work out in the past?
Oh, well,
You're like, how much time do we have?
How much time do we have?
Yeah.
And also, girl, I come from like a big community.
Yeah.
But we're in each other's business.
Okay, so we don't have to get too
we
into
won't
it.
get too into it because
Yeah.
we'll know who exactly we're talking
Okay,
about.
yeah. Don't worry, we don't need to get into it. This is for the girls, for the audience to
It's
just
for
like,
the girls.
Yeah.
Okay, why didn't it work out? The first 2 long-term relationships didn't work out because I was traveling a lot for work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing long distance relationships. So
Yeah.
I've never actually, until my current one, I've never actually
Really?
lived in the same state
Really?
as my boo. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was more of a distant thing.
Yep.
That broke the other previous relationship.
Yep.
Currently, I live in the same state. Finally,
love this,
with my
yeah.
boo.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's definitely a different dynamic because like we get to see each other often.
Yeah.
We get to experience like a relationship. Do
Mm.
you know what I mean? Whereas in, like if you're long distance, it's really difficult.
It is difficult.
It's so
I don't think I
hard.
could be a long distance girl. I feel like unless there was a timing, like
Yeah.
okay, 1 year
Yeah.
max, and we had trips in between. But if it was like you don't really know how long, and
Yeah.
we're just kind of both living our own lives, I don't think I could
Yeah.
commit to that.
Yeah.
But how did you? Because I feel like that I heard this saying on TikTok, and it was like if the formula isn't working, switch it up.
Period.
And I think
period.
a lot of us, including myself, we
Yeah.
go for a type that we're comfortable with, that we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you switched up
Oh,
for
100%.
Yeah?
Like if I was to look at my previous relationships,
Yeah.
the kind of guy that I've dated, they're very different.
Yeah?
Yeah, very,
Okay.
very different.
In what way?
Look wise, they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
But personality wise, very different. Like I've dated
Okay.
a guy who was like more of an extrovert, like match my energy.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then I've dated a white man.
Oh, you did that.
I did.
Do you know what though? I can't even judge you. I love that for you because I feel like the black girls open up your horizon. It won't be me.
Open up your
It will never be me,
horizon.
but open up your horizon.
No, it would never be
I need to know. I'm trying to
Trust
be more
me. Okay,
open-minded.
I'm going to tell you something off camera.
Okay, yeah, please
yeah,
do.
because you need to.
Girl, I hear that pasta and lobster. Yeah, that pasta. Listen, I believe the girls that have that, because I have a friend who's like that, who's so open to dating.
Yeah,
And I feel like she experiences way more.
Way more.
Like just
Way
even
more.
where they take her, the
Yeah.
conversations they
Yes,
have.
so different.
But I think for me with dating like black men, it's always been a priority because one, I've seen it at home.
Yeah.
And two, I also feel like it's just, I want to have black children.
feel
I
like-
want to have
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's comfortable for me.
It's natural.
It's natural.
Like you
it's
don't have to
so
do too
natural.
much.
Yeah.
Like they just get you. You get
They just
them.
we just understand each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
That's why I like it. But I've been open to maybe like personality types. I think I always go for like, there's a specific type of guy that I go for. I think
Yeah.
I need to change it up.
You
I
need
think
to change it
I
up.
I think I
You
need
need
to jump
like,
into the
change-
quiet man.
You need to jump into the quiet man. Okay, the quiet man. It's been working for me.
It's been working for you. That's
it's
what I'm
worked for me
saying.
so far,
Yeah.
which is amazing. But also, I feel like just widen your horizon. Like there's like so many fish
in
out
the sea. I
there.
know.
Yeah, and you never know.
Yeah.
You generally never know. I feel like strive for like realness.
Strive for realness in relationships.
In
That's what I was gonna say to you. Like we need to
relationships,
be, because
We need to be
now,
so for real.
yeah, I think
Like
now
let's
we're
be so for real.
What do you mean?
There's no such thing as like, because at the end of the day, it's two people coming together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then every day you choose each other until one day you don't choose that person anymore. Do you know what
Mm.
I mean? And yes, there's like that saying, it's like, oh, if you wanted to, he would.
Yes, yeah.
But then there's also you as a woman. If you're allowing certain things to happen in the relationship,
Yeah.
it's you're allowing it. He's not doing it to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So when you say allowing certain things, like do you mean putting up with certain things in the relationship? Yeah.
And I'm not saying I have not put up with shit. I
Yeah.
have put up with shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, because like sometimes you've just got butterflies.
Yeah, and you
know
just
what I
over-
mean?
or you-
Yeah,
you
just-
convince yourself so many
convince
times
yourself
that, like-
yeah, like, you know, it's going to change, or you just don't see it until you're out of it.
That one.
You just don't see it until you're out of it, and you're like, no way. I
Yes.
put up with that. Ain't no way.
Wake up, stand up.
Oh my God. Ain't no way.
And do you know what? Sometimes I feel like people do things and there still might be a genuine love. Like I do feel like they love you. Or, you know, sometimes it's toxic, but sometimes, you know, you have situations where you might have been fooled, but also at the same time, you know that there was love there.
Yeah.
But you have to be okay with it not being okay for you and just being like, okay, I'm not happy, so I'm going to leave.
I'm going to leave.
And I feel like that's something that I kind of struggle with because I'll be like, but they didn't mean it like that.
Yeah. But are you making excuses for them?
Yeah.
I mean, we do.
We do that,
We do, because like there is love there.
Yeah.
Like this person was my person. And then letting go, it takes a minute. It really does. Like it takes a hot minute. And then you finally let go. And then that's when you start, you know, reevaluating. You're like, oh my God, there's no way I put up with that. And then you make sure you don't do it the next relationship.
Yes. Yeah. And you're more aware. And I think you're
always
always leave with more. Yeah.
100%. I feel like regardless of whether the relationship ends like horribly, you take something away from it.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
that you apply to your the next person that you meet.
Yes.
You know, like maybe you won't be so open to XYZ. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by we need to be more, like we need to be for real? Because I really feel like we need to be more flexible. I think there's so much chat online.
There's so much
about
chat
like,
online.
He needs to have this, he needs to have that, he needs to have this. And sometimes obviously we're all online. We're all seeing this stuff. So it's hard to like step away and then like, you know, just judge a relationship.
I just feel like social media has really like romanticized relationships so much to a point that it's like it's not real. Like I told you before, like it's literally two lives coming together and choosing each other. Yeah. And if we're going to compare our relationships to the next or to someone who puts out for it to be so perfect, it's not perfect.
It's
like,
not.
It's not supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like you always bicker, you always, you know, there's always going to be things you disagree on. But then at the end of the day, it comes back down to like, hey, I really want to be with you.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Hey, I messed up, but I want to be with you. Let's figure it out. Maybe I didn't communicate better with you before. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% agree with you. I think yeah, I agree. I think that we're too like quick to like, we also don't judge based on like the actual relationship. I think we're always looking at other people's and comparing and being like, he should have done this or this should have been more like this. And I don't know. I just think like we need to have our own mind stepping into relationships because it's getting too much of this comparison. And you have no idea what the other person's going through. You really don't. You really don't. Yeah. And that's why I feel like a lot of us, I don't know, maybe there's like the satisfaction level isn't high because you're not, is it really what you wanted? Yeah. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I feel like, and I always tell my friends this, like relationships are the one thing that, or love, let's say, is the one thing you literally don't have control over. Do you know what I mean? Like you can take control over your career, your friendships. Even friendships are hard sometimes.
Friendships are so hard. I could have like 10 conversations about friendship break. More than 10 on this podcast, on the a whole season. Because the way a friendship breakup will leave you shaking.
It will leave you shooketh.
Yeah, I've had friendship breakups.
Worse than actually a relationship. Yeah. Honestly.
Because this is like you're one of someone that you're so close to.
So close to.
And it's so crazy how you can never imagine a life without them. And then when something happens and it's like the shock, your ego, and then like actually processing it. Because I feel like when I've had friendship breakups, I'd be like, whatever, you know, I'll try to move on. But when I tell you deep down, I'm broken.
Oh, 100%.
Broken.
100%. Because men come and go. And literally by the time you're over them, you're over
You're
them.
Done. You're actually
you would
moved
never
on.
ever think about that man again.
Yeah. But a
they
friendship,
have nothing to do with what's going on in your life moving forward. But a friendship, everything you're going to do moving forward, you're going to think of them. Yeah. You're going to be like, oh, we used to like this together. Yeah. Or like doing that one thing by yourself. It's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard. And I have to, like, I also...
Unless they're toxic, then...
But then even when they're toxic, what do you...
Please be gone.
What happens? What do you do when it's like they were toxic, but it was like you actually did have...
A genuine
friendship, but then the toxic thing was what broke it. Even I found that hard. Yeah. Because it's like... You know what I mean? It's hard, but then it's like now I can move on because what you did, I can't come back from. Yeah. But also like... that was really a genuine friendship. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's so hard.
It's so hard out here.
But what should girls be doing to start finding? Because I feel like when we say shortage, there's also like everyone's struggling to date and find
Everyone is also
people.
struggling because I feel like even men also are saying that they're struggling, which I'm like, what you mean? There's so many great girls
So many
out here.
I don't understand.
But then
this
again,
thing.
it could be like it's not a standards thing. Like it depends on like what you're into. Like if you're more into looks, the guy with the good looking guy is not gonna have the personality majority of the time. Or they might have a good personality, but they're not gonna have their shit together.
Oh, there's always one,
There's always one thing missing. And as a boss girl, you don't want a guy who
You need a guy that's put together. I'm sorry. I feel like I've always been the personality type, where it's like a good-looking guy is cute, but I feel like I'm a medium ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I love a medium ugly. You know what I mean? It's like you're cute, but not all the way cute. But then your personality brings you here.
That is so true.
I love that.
Period.
Yeah, because when they're so cute,
120%.
it's like they feel like they don't have to do enough.
They don't have to do enough, and it's just like a.
It's not for me.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I've been a bit.
agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
the medium
100%.
uglies are where it's at.
100%. I've never been fully attracted to like an attractive guy.
Neither.
Like I could like, yeah, they're fine, but I don't.
There's no-
It would never cross my mind to go there
Yeah.
or to even have a relation. Nothing.
Yeah.
But a medium dude, not a medium.
I'm
a medium,
medium ugly.
a medium ugly.
I'm checking you out.
Yeah.
I'm checking you out.
Yo.
Do you know what I also feel like? I feel like we're the stage we're at in our lives, a lot of us are very, like I hear this conversation of like the need to get married, the want to get married. And I think that makes this process a lot harder.
Yeah, 100%.
We need to let that go.
We need to let it go.
We need to let that go.
2024, we need to let it go.
Yeah.
We 100% need to let it go. But then also at the same time, it's so hard not to think about it, especially if you're getting older, if you come from a specific culture,
Yes.
if all your friends around you are in that
Getting
stage
yeah.
of like marriage and children and house, it's just like there's so much pressure.
There is. And
There is.
I do
if
get
you
it.
And you put that pressure on the relationship, then it's just not gonna work.
It's not
because
gonna
everyone
work.
has a different timeline.
Exactly. And I just
Yeah.
feel like we're all looking, I feel like we're all, if you go in with that mindset of like, I need to get married, I don't want to be single, you're dating and it's like, the experience is rushed.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on it and it just forces you you're like in a situation that you might not even want to be in,
Yeah.
but you're like, let me
Yeah.
just try and make it work because I need to get married. I just think, what's the point? And then you're married and you're unhappy,
And you're
or
unhappy. It's like not the right person.
It's
for
not the right
you.
person.
You
I just
didn't give your relationship enough time to get to know each other.
Yeah.
To experience things, to travel, to like
to know yourself and to understand why you want to get all this stuff. It's like, I don't know. I just think that if we were to take that pressure off, which is hard because I know we all come from like a lot of us, you know, parents and struggling, you know, I feel like especially the people that listen to this podcast, I get it. But I also feel like, because we get dilemmas from girls saying that stuff. And I'm just like, you know, it is nice getting married and having that, but with the right person.
With the
I think
right
just
person.
being married, period, would not be enjoyable if you're with someone that you don't love. And we all have our own timing.
We do.
I believe in
I
timing.
100% believe in timing. And I 100% also believe in starting over. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like if let's say if you're in a relationship and it doesn't work out, there is enough time. Like don't ever feel like I need to stay in this because I'm working towards marriage or I'm working towards having a family.
Yeah.
I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
Do you know, like sometimes it can, I had a conversation with one of my girlfriends a while ago, and it's like, oh my goodness, like if this better be my last relationship because I do not have it in me to date again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it kind of puts like pressure on the relationship. to be
Exactly.
Like,
it has to work. It has to work. But it's like, if it doesn't work, then what? You know you're going to do it again. So just like... But I get
Back to
it.
square one.
When you get out of a relationship, would I tell you, it's like, don't come my way.
Don't come my way.
Don't come my way. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to travel.
I
I get it. Because I feel like we all have this mentality. I don't know about you, but I used to like, I block. It's like, okay, from my 20s to my 30s, okay, then 30s to this, it has to look like this, and this has to look like this.
Yeah.
That is so destructive.
It is.
Because I'm like, by 30, I need to be this, I need to have this, I need to have this.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's going to happen? It's
I know,
accepting that is hard.
It's a nice thing to have though, because
It
like you're
is.
setting goals for yourself.
course,
right?
yeah.
But you're and it's for yourself. But if you're not also setting goals, then what are you working towards? Like life is just passing you by, time's just passing you by. And I think another thing is like when a person can't, like let's say whatever your preference is, like that partner comes into your life, you're already doing X, Y, Z for yourself.
Yeah.
So they come in, and then now you try to align that timeline. Where do they fit in? Where do you fit in his? And then it's like finding a way to continue working towards those goals that you have.
Yeah.
But now you have someone with you.
Yes. And I agree. I feel like it's good to have those goals. It's just more like if it doesn't happen, I feel like people
just
crumble.
Be realistic. Yeah. Be so
be
real.
Okay.
Be okay that
if it doesn't work out.
Like certain things just aren't part of a timeline. Like some things just naturally happen.
Yes. Yeah.
And some things will, but then also I love a little surprise. I love a little shaker.
Yeah, like a little get me up. Girl, sometimes don't get me wrong. I feel like I had one this year. I feel like I had a big shake. You know what I mean? And then it was like, okay, it is good because it wakes you up. It wakes you up, but also it gives you space. Okay, this is new, something new.
Yeah.
And so when you're going through at the beginning, it's rough.
It's rough.
And then when you come out, you're like,
okay, I needed to go through that to understand this.
You're so right.
Do you know what? Yeah.
So when you got with your man now, do you feel like it was something that you were ready for?
Was it something I was ready for? Yes.
Okay.
Because I had actually given myself finally time to be single.
Oh, okay.
So I was finally single for I think I was single for a year before I met my man.
That's a good time.
And that's a good time for me to just be by myself.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, girl. He's not gonna like it, but we met in the club.
Period.
This
actually is like a state because a lot of people I'm seeing so many that's how you meet people because the apps are crazy, or Instagram maybe you can meet someone on Instagram. The apps are just like it's a lot. I've done it like a couple times when I was like overseas or just like for fun, whatever. But I'm just like, it's too much. But I hear so many people being like, you can't meet your future husband in the club. So I like that. There we go.
You can definitely meet your future husband in the club.
I love this.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
Because it's not everyone that's going out there to do whatever it is they want to go do in the club. Some people generally are going out to have a good time. And if you lock eyes with someone and it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
so
I mean?
cute. Yeah.
And then you take it outside the club. And
period. And here you are.
And here I am. Here I am.
So do you feel like you guys knew in that moment, or it was just like
we knew in that moment. So
really?
It was more like we locked eyes, but we actually didn't speak at all to each other.
Okay.
No, nothing. Like we just like locked eyes and there was just like this thing.
Do you know, Malaan, I love that stuff. Me, I'm such
this thing. And for me personally, I was like, yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was just waiting for him to make his move. I'm just like, I'm waiting there, just with my drink in my hand.
He'll come to me eventually.
I'm down the dance floor. I was like, damn. I see you looking.
Yeah.
Like, come over here. Don't be scared.
And did he eventually?
Well, the next day he did.
Really? So he did. He knew of you already.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he did, or maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, here you are now.
Here we are.
So this is a message to the ladies that listen to this. Like, there is hope.
There is so much hope, and you can meet a guy anywhere. There's ideally, I would have loved to say, oh, I was at a cafe and I was just in the corner reading a book. Isn't that everybody's?
I was just sitting there and he's
you know what I mean? The movies say they're gonna meet your dream man in a cafe, not in a club. It's like, but how many times have you been at a cafe? Have you ever seen a cute guy?
Never. I'm always at cafes. I'm always. My other dream is like if I meet him like on a connecting flight or something.
That's another dream. Like, let's be for real.
Be for real. I know. It'll probably be like...
are you going to meet him on holiday? No, because when everyone's on holiday, you're there to do one thing. Yeah. It's to have a good time.
Turn up. Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I also feel like ladies, maybe we should start shooting our shot.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. Like, I'm not at that stage yet.
I shot my shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you did it?
Yeah, of course. So, I knew he was feeling me. But my man was a bit shy, he was a bit shy. So I said, okay, cool, no worries. Next day I did my little digging.
Period.
Find out that he already follows me.
Okay.
So, okay, he knows
How did you know his name? Oh, people told you?
Well, yeah, because we're from the same community.
Yeah.
Like, you just know.
Yeah.
I just said, who's that? They said, this is that. I'm like, okay, cool. Go search him up. I'm all right, sweet. Still didn't say anything, right?
Okay.
And then, like, constantly watching my story, I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay.
So you're interested, but you're
Okay.
just shy.
He's shy.
You just need a little push, right? So one day he puts a story up,
Okay.
and it was It was Oz Open. Like the tennis was coming up.
Yep.
And it was something to do with Nick Curious or whatever.
Yep.
And so I liked it. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this year's Oz
I love
Open.
you. You did that?
When I tell you, he took the conversation from there, here we are.
That is so
That's
interesting
all I did.
because
Yeah.
that's another thing where girls will take the lurkers as like the opposite way. I think you went in with like a positive, like
'cause
already,
I'm
like I
oh,
kind of
you
want this to
follow
happen.
me. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you already know a bit of me. Okay, cool. But I also saw you in the club looking.
Yeah,
So, okay,
I know you're
cool.
looking.
Like, so I'm just like I knew the feels were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I would,
Or I
yeah.
felt the feels were
You
there.
knew, like also we know. I
you
feel
just
like
know.
you just
know when a
know.
guy is into you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
that's
I feel
how
like
it happened.
I love this story, and I keep saying that, but I heard that the other flip side of it is where people have been like, oh, they get pushed away from doing that. They get discouraged to reach out because they're like, why is he not messaging me? Why is he not saying anything? So
Yeah.
maybe we need to start just like shooting.
Yeah, just shoot it. Just shoot it. What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also the fear of rejection.
Also that.
That fear of because
Yeah.
if a guy
I'm
was,
sure if I felt like he wasn't into me, I would have not.
you wouldn't have.
I
Done
would have
it.
not done that.
Yeah.
I would have just like waited. Maybe we'll still be waiting till today.
And now you have a man though.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
so
story.
I think there's just like different approaches, and I just feel
Yeah.
like do what feels good to you.
Yeah.
There's no book that says what's it called? There's no right book or right way to do things. It's like everything we do in life, you figure it out yourself. Yeah, but if you continuously compare it with someone else's experience, you're never gonna have your own experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It's an
Yeah,
interesting
it's
one.
an
But
interesting
I like the
one.
approach. I feel like I'm delusional. Sometimes I might be thinking someone's into me, but I don't know. But also, I don't know. Do you do that where you're just like, oh, this person's? Do you read the?
No.
Do you know what it is with me and guys? I feel like I don't really have many guy friends. So when guys are like friendly and really talking, all of that,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder
Are they,
what your
what are your intentions?
what
do
are
you
your
want
intentions?
from me?
Yeah, I'm always like sus. So maybe that's a.
Yeah.
But I should be open to it. Let's jump into our next segment. It's called Bitter or Sweet.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you these paddles. And pretty much I'm going to give you a couple scenarios and you're going to vote bitter or sweet. Okay. So first situation here is sharing intimate details about your relationship with your friends. Bitter or sweet?
Sweet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I tell my girls everything.
Everything?
And they tell me everything too.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's like a friendship that you trust, it's
It's fine?
I'm fine with it.
Do you ever feel like sometimes there's a line with how much you can you have to keep private in your relationship and how much
100%. Yeah. Okay.
because I think there's
Yeah.
this I'm the same as you, like I will tell my girls everything,
Yeah.
but then I feel like the more, maybe it's also like the deeper you get into the relationship, I can imagine being a husband wife
Yeah.
status,
Yeah.
or married, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, is there a
Yeah.
point where you need to stop sharing
Oh,
your
100%. There's a point where you need to start protecting your relationship.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, again, talking about that whole entitlement thing, there's people who sometimes feel as if they're part of their relationship as well. You should take on their advice or whatever. Whereas then sometimes it's really just between you and your person
Yes.
to make a decision.
Yeah.
And you, if you're both happy with it, you're both happy with it. The third party has nothing.
there's nothing, it's like I'm just more telling you for
I'm just telling you just for the sake of just
Yes,
having conversation,
sharing
I'm just
and-
sharing.
yeah.
But I'm not asking for your opinion.
this is not the final say.
It's not the final say.
Yeah. I was watching this video and this girl was talking about how her mum, they were all moving from, I think it was Nigeria to Australia, and her mum was packing the whole family up. Basically what happened was I think the mum was concerned about American culture or something. There was a reason why she was talking about it. And the friend was trying to steer her away from going, and she was just saying all these things about what are they gonna think here, your child being raised in a Western country, and it ended up that the friend was really jealous of the family, and she's putting out all these doubts and pouring doubts into this woman's mind, and it just got to a point where it was very, very toxic. So the mum actually had to cut her off eventually, because she's like, what you're doing is not actually is not productive to
It's not
our growth or
productive
helping us
at
in any way.
all,
You're actually just
yeah.
doing the opposite. Yeah.
And there is situations like that where the friend feels the friend is too involved in the relationship.
Yeah.
That it comes to a point that it's called that you in the relationship, you're not even making the decision yourself.
Yes.
Your friend is telling you what to say.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then that, yeah.
And we love and trust our friends. So we're always going to be like, yeah.
We love and trust our friends, but there's also a limit.
There's
There
100%.
has to be a limit. There has to be boundaries. There has to be, you know, like, hey, this is my relationship and I'm gonna do what I want with it. Of course, obviously, when there's situations where it's like, you know, the person is just like mistreating you, then your friend has the right to open your eyes and let you know, like, hey, you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, you know, there has to be boundaries for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Next bitter or sweet is spontaneous visitors to your house. So obviously now you live in your own place. How do you feel about people being like, hey, Malaan, I'm just around the corner. I'm coming through, girl.
I mean, I'm gonna say sweet because if I know if we know each other and you're like that comfortable to just come over, then it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I've not. But if we were going with like when I was my family home and there's just spontaneous visitors.
Yeah.
It's so bitter. It's giving.
Sorry, I'm
Please
giving.
call before you come over.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
it's a bitter.
In an African household,
That's
it's
what I'm
bitter.
saying.
That's
It's like,
that's
honestly, we
different.
grew up. Why is the doorbell ringing?
Literally,
Why are we sitting
like,
down on a Saturday?
It's my day off. I just want to chill, but now I gotta go make shive.
That's what I'm saying. The way my mom used to every Saturday was clean the house, in the morning.
Because
You
there's
wake
gonna
up.
be visitors.
But sometimes we didn't even know. Even she used to be like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!" And we clean the house. We're about to
Yeah.
sit down,
Yeah.
watch a movie, do something.
Yeah.
Why is the doorbell ringing?
Yeah.
Why is the doorbell
The
ringing? Now
weekends-
we have to rush around
The
clean.
weekends were for the visitors.
Oh my
It was never for
God.
you. You can never just relax and chill.
The crazy ones are the weekday ones. When people come on a weekday, you
Yeah.
are bold. You are so bold.
Yes,
So
bold.
my house now, my apartment,
Yeah.
don't just come up.
Don't
Don't
just
just
come
pull
up.
up to my house.
Yeah.
I need to be mentally prepared to have. I do love seeing. Like if you were to tell me early in the day,
Yeah.
I'm coming through. Come. I love like
yeah,
when
yeah.
my friends come over. I love like. I feel like I'm very hospitable. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like come
same,
through. Let's
same.
eat. Let's do
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But if you just show up,
Yeah.
and I'm just like in my own space, I can't have you there.
True.
You've just
true.
now ruined the
I
vibe.
feel like we have to be like this for you to just
Yeah.
come whenever.
Yeah.
But if we're not tight, then it's going.
What's going on?
Friends?
Where's the decorum?
We're not that close.
Yeah. It's like no answer. No answer.
No one's home.
Yeah, no one's home. All right, let's move on to the final segment, the dilemma, the one you've been waiting for.
I love your dilemmas. I feel like I've also sent one in before.
Have you?
I have.
Wait, you need to tell me which
No,
one
I
it was.
can't tell you which one
Okay.
because it's juicy.
Okay, I love that. Okay, this one is it can relate to like I feel like Africans across the board, but let's get into it. Why is finding a good Habesha guy to date in Australia so hard? I'm 31 and looking, but they are not suitable. They date white people. Woof.
Oof.
Or aren't ready for a serious relationship, etc., etc., etc. I need to be with someone of the same religion, which is Orthodox. As a Habesha girl yourself, what are your thoughts on this issue? There seems to be an influx on Habesha women that are ready, successful, and wanting love, but not enough men.
Yeah.
I feel like this is very relatable to all Africans. I wouldn't even just say Habesha girls.
It is.
Which is why I chose this one because I feel like we can talk about it.
So talk about it.
She's 31. She's looking for a guy
She's
in
ready.
her like same community, same culture, same religion. She's ready.
Yeah.
And the men just don't seem to be like on par. And I feel like this is a thing.
It's a thing.
I think that
it's a thing because the girls are doing the thing.
do you think the guys know that? Do you think the guys are aware of the
honestly?
fact that like the girls and the guys are not on par?
I don't think they do. I don't think they see it. Like generally, I don't want to put our guys down at
Yeah.
all. I love y'all.
Really,
You're
really,
my-
like we're
Really,
out
like,
here being
really, we love you.
guys. It's to the point because I
We
think
love
we need
you
to
so much.
We need to let them
we're going to a
know.
point where we're just like we won't even date outside our race because we love you.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the fact that this woman is sending in a dilemma saying, "I want to be with an African man, like a
Yes.
Habesha man, or
Yeah.
a black." A lot of the girls that I know feel the same way.
All black
Ideally,
girls, genuinely, I
want
feel
to be
like
with black
we
men.
all want to be with our people.
Yeah.
Right? But our men, they want to be babied. I'm so sorry if I'm attacking you, but they want to be babied, and I think the other side they can put up with it. We can't, because if you don't have your shit together, I'm so sorry.
We're not.
Like,
not
I
happening.
don't have time for that. I can't raise you two.
100%.
Yeah.
You need to find someone
And that's why
like
that's
on-
what she means. Like, they're not on par. It's so hard to find a guy who doesn't have babies everywhere, who is, about their bag,
Yep.
who is
Serious.
Yep. It's so hard.
who also just like is willing to like to date in a normal way, like to be,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's like they could have those, like he has a good job and he, isn't like doesn't have any kids and like, okay, cool, great, that's nice.
Yeah.
But it's like, what kind of man are you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah,
kind of
that's so
husband are you going to be? Are you going to
true.
love me? Are
Yeah,
you going
'cause,
to
like,
why are we looking for all these because it's so low.
It's so low that, like, meeting a guy that doesn't have kids is like you're winning. But it's like, okay, but what else do they provide to the table?
Yeah.
If, like, that's the only thing, like that, because I guess that is the biggest issue.
It is the biggest
You
issue, but
know?
I just feel like that's why I feel like I really wanted to say to her, like, I really get it. And I'm just like, as much as it would be nice to have someone, I think you need to be flexible.
Yeah.
And you need to open up your
But you're right. But
because
it's just
what are you
why
going to do?
do we have to be flexible?
Because
we're out here doing everything possible to make ourselves better.
Yeah.
Right? For our future selves, for our future partners, for our future families. But why are we doing all the hard work and you're not?
That's why it's time to move on to, because look, I get it.
True.
I'm trying to find an analogy that will really work with this. You know what I mean? It's like, if they're not going to change, you're not going to stand there waiting for
And
them to
wait,
change.
no,
you need to
you're
move
not.
on with
You
your
need to
life,
move on.
and you need to figure
You
out
need
like
to-
whether even with her, like if you feel like you can't be with someone that's like not the same race as you, maybe
Yeah.
like
Or the
travel,
same religion.
I don't know, the same
Maybe
religion,
travel.
but if not, I think
I mean, you were in London for a hot minute. Did you date when you were away?
I feel like it's the same.
It's the
thing.
same. That's
It's
what I'm
the same
saying.
thing.
Like, across the board, it's exactly the same.
Like,
It's so
definitely there's
funny. Like,
more.
Even like in like, there's more.
There's more, but it's the same thing.
But it's the same thing.
Would
Because like
you-
even in my community, like the girls from the States are just like, oh my goodness, like the guys in Australia. But we're over here like, oh.
Girl, get out where you can. Yeah, get out.
Don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But then even
about-
like my single friends here, they're just like, oh, maybe my man is in the States or he's in the UK.
But then your man might be as well.
But he might be, But it, one thing that me and my girlfriend said the other day is like, it's better to be with the devil you know than the devil you don't know.
Yes, as in like be in your own community.
As in like date that man that's in your state, because like that. The grass is not green on the other side.
Yes, it's
You
not.
know what I mean?
It's
So
not.
it could be like that, fine looking man in the UK, but you don't know what mischief they've been up to.
Yeah, and that stresses
what
me
I
out.
mean?
Not knowing like where you come
Yeah.
from or who like your like not knowing your people.
Yeah.
And who you're around.
Oh, no.
That would be really hard. Because how am I
It's
gonna?
so hard because then you're really being boo boo the fool, because someone's looking at you
Yeah.
like damn,
But
I can't believe she's with that person, because you don't know anything about them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You
But
don't
I spoke
know.
to a couples counselor on this podcast, and she was like, we need to stop doing the whole investigation beforehand. She's like, a
that
lot of the
too.
times with
That
the
too.
dating now, like
Yeah.
you guys are doing full because my girl's on LinkedIn. I know girls that are
Yeah.
checking their LinkedIn. What does
Yeah.
this man do for a job? What's
Yeah.
his history? And
Which
she's
is
like,
fair
it's
too.
good, but then
Yeah.
the therapist was like, it's too much. Like you
It's a
girls,
lot,
you guys
'cause
are
you're
not
already
giving them.
blocking
Yeah, you're blocking
A
your
potential
blessings.
conversation
Yeah.
that might change your mind.
Also, what about like working on like what if they don't come perfect, but they're okay and like we build on that?
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe in that. Because at the end of the day, I feel like, for instance, for me, one of like, three things that I absolutely look for in a guy would be loyalty, kindness, and someone that's hardworking. Like if you're respectful, that's attractive to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just like moral things.
Yes, yeah.
Everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But morally, if you're not there, then it's like, we can't work on
See, that's
that.
good though,
You
because
can't
that
work on
means
morals. You just gotta have it.
you have to have it.
You just have to have it.
And that
Yeah.
means to me that just shows that like he can do or like I feel like you can work on a man like that. So there's a lot of men in our community that probably do have that, but we're not
Yeah.
looking at them because the
Yeah.
girls are like the girls have
girls are
they're doing
doing
great in
it.
their career.
Yeah.
They're studying. They're doing all these things. And I think we're
entering
just
different spaces.
yeah.
We're just like
we're more open-minded.
We're open-minded, but our men.
But maybe
I
we
don't
need
know
to
what it
expose
is,
the
they
men
just-
to that.
But that's another thing. It's like we're doing the work.
Yeah.
Like we're tired. We
We're
want
so
to be.
tired.
We
I
want to be looked after.
know.
And that's
I
why I said,
know.
man.
That's what
I mean, a white man will look after you, but you're just not gonna connect.
No, you said that the soft life isn't real. I believe it's real.
Yeah,
I need a version of the soft life in my because I'm tired.
I know.
I'm actually
We're
tired.
so tired.
Because I'm tired of like being switched on and like always having to. I feel like there's a lot of work that we do and we don't really understand that until like we talk to other people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you realize, oh, you're doing a lot. But I feel like that's not really common in all other like ethnicities. I feel like as much as us.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I feel like sometimes it just and we laugh about it and we can keep, but it's like, no, we deserve to be looked after.
We do. But then also at the same time, could it be that because we're expressive about the our relationships and everything that's happening in our community, and also because we're in this box, we actually don't know what else is happening in those communities. So like maybe they're men are trash too. You never know.
Maybe men
Men in general. Are
Oh my God, don't say that. We love you guys.
No, we love y'all.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
I don't know. I feel like going back to this dilemma, I think she needs to be, I would say, be more open-minded.
Yeah.
Like I know you want someone in your own culture, in your own religion, but maybe it's time to kind of open your mind up to other people.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like, again, like what we said, if the formula isn't working, switch it up, babe.
Switch it
Because
up,
this is your
switch
real
it up.
life and you can't just be waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Could it be as far as switching it up, as in like maybe he's in the village?
I was gonna say that to you. I was gonna say like maybe because there are men that are back like home.
Who
And I don't know about the village. There's a difference
Maybe
between
not
the village and city girl. Not the village because you're a city girl. Like
maybe not the village, but like a man back home who meets the criteria.
and some of these men back home, like let me tell you,
Yeah.
I've heard stories where they're more. I think any man that is. I feel like men in Africa.
Yeah.
They're just more international. The way they think,
yeah.
the way that they like. I don't know if this is just me, but based off like experiences from conversations I've had and stuff, they're just more like well versed in the world.
Yeah.
Compared to here, where we're in our own box in the West and we're doing.
exactly.
I think they're exposed to more. You know what I mean? You just never know. But I think with us, it's like we need to let go of our biases, where it's like, oh, he's
Definitely.
different culture, accent, this, that.
Yeah.
So I am not fully opposed to that.
I'm same. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
girl.
That's
I don't know.
an
Maybe
avenue
you
you
can
can
take
explore.
a trip, take a flight.
Take a quick flight back home.
Yes.
You never know.
Oh my
You
gosh.
never know. You just have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with it. That's all the dilemmas for today, guys. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you have any more dilemmas, or for the listeners at home, make sure you guys send your dilemmas in. They're in all the links in our bios. We love hearing them. We obviously our audience loves hearing them as well.
I love them so much.
They're so good.
They're like my favorite part of the podcast.
It makes me feel so connected to the people that are on too. I really love that people
Yeah.
send them in. So please send them in, guys. I want to hear everything, relationships, dating, family, all of it. Malaan, it has been a pleasure.
Such a pleasure. I'm so happy that we got to do this finally.
Yeah.
You said family. I think we need to dissect some. We need to unpack family.
Oh no, it's a whole different
It's
topic.
a whole nother
It's a whole
topic.
Yeah, family is like a different
It's different.
levels.
Levels.
Baby steps. But thank you so much. Tell people where they can find you.
So you can follow me on Instagram, Malaan_Ajang, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me there. I'm fresh on TikTok. How are you finding TikTok?
I like
You like
TikTok
it?
better than I like Instagram because I feel like
Really?
TikTok for me I'm not consistent, but I feel
Yeah.
like TikTok is like people that don't know me, and I feel like I'm actually building an audience.
Yeah.
Whereas Instagram, it was like my personal Instagram that
Yeah.
turned into like now is turning into
The
my
business.
my business / like content creating. But Instagram just feels like it. I feel like it's too personal.
Really?
It's too like people I know. I think I need to change that up or something.
Change
Yeah.
it up for sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm the opposite. Like I love Instagram.
Yeah?
TikTok scares me.
Why?
The reach that it has scares me. It's the fact that like my
Okay.
video, like my dad could watch my video in the
Yes.
village.
My
that
dad has literally
scares
watched my
me.
TikTok
You know
videos.
what
He's
I
seen
mean?
it,
Like,
yeah.
whereas like on Instagram, I feel like it's controlled. Like I control my audience. In terms of like I know who my following is. Whereas in TikTok, it's reaching my community and it's giving.
It's not.
It's not. I can't.
Are you gonna stay on it?
I'll stay on it because of work,
Yeah.
obviously. So, anyways, yeah, find me on TikTok, Malaan.Ajang. Yeah.
We love it. Keep doing it. I'm here for your
Yeah.
TikToks. I like it because it's also less like serious.
Yeah.
TikTok, you can have fun. You can show like a different side
Which
to you.
is so wild because I'm fun, but I don't know how to do it on TikTok. I feel like it's so like it's.
I think you
don't
do
know,
it on
it's so
TikTok.
Scary.
Oh my gosh, we'll chat.
Let's
we'll talk after
chat.
this.
Okay, let's talk. Anyways,
Anyways, guys,
that's
thank
me.
you for tuning in. We'll see you guys again next week. Bye. Should we do a final cheers?
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye.